everyone, it's Jonathan here, founder of Driving Academy. In today's video, we're going to be discussing how to do one of the scariest things as a brand new truck driver, and that is how to do a proper right turn. Now you might be thinking, why are right turns so scary? Isn't it just as simple as a car? And that is where you're incorrect. The biggest difference between a tractor trailer and a car is that trailer behind you, right? So a trailer can actually be as long as 53 feet, right? That means you can be driving a vehicle and you have a vehicle that is triple the size of the current vehicle that you're in, right? Or double the size. And that vehicle is that trailer. So that means you can be making a turn and there's always that kind of tailgating trailer behind you that's always going to be doing things a little bit different than what you're actually doing up here in the actual truck itself. So in today's video, we're going to give you the exact step-by-step guide on how to do a proper right turn. Because if you don't get this right, it could be the difference between you passing or failing your CDL road test. I'm not sure if you're aware, but the third part of the road test is actually driving on the road. And if you're making a right turn and your tire touches one of the curbs, that's it. You are going home, my friend. And that's something we want to avoid as much as possible. So if you watch to the end of the video, we're going to give you a few different scenarios when it comes to right turns and how to handle those, and then you should be a pro. Now, if you actually want to come and do actual hands-on training here at our facility, we have our state-of-the-art driving simulators at most of our locations. And we also, of course, take you on the real truck, on the real road after you get comfortable on our simulator. We like to use our simulators because we like to say it gives you years of experience within just a few days of training. So without any further ado, let's get started. I'm putting myself in a 48-foot trailer and in an automatic, so you don't have to worry about shifting. And I already turned on the engine, so we're going to push in both brakes, we're going to press drive, and we're going to get going. So as you're driving like anything else, of course, two hands on the steering wheel, make sure you're using turn signals. Now when it comes to right turns, you have to understand it's going to be broken down into three main categories. Category number one is going to be the approach. The phase number two is actually going to be the turn. And then phase number three is going to be after the turn and how you handle it, right? So we're going to see which right turns are going to be good. This one is actually a tough one right over here. So we're going to skip this one out and we're going to kind of see how to move forward, moving there. The main things to avoid when it comes to your right turns is actually going to be watching that curb. Because if you do phase one and phase two incorrectly, it's going to make the actual making this thing possible much more difficult. So we're going to continue to go forward to start off, and then at the next red light we're going to get going. So we are going to make a tight turn onto this red light right over here, and the first phase is going to be turn on your turn signal. So 100 feet before, you want to put your turn signal on, right? And at that point now we want to make sure we're setting ourselves up for success. So we're going to want to make sure that we're on the outside of the lane. So we want to make sure we're on the left side of the lane. We want to go straight. So now we're going into phase two, which is the actual turn. Go straight, turn late, which means go to the center of the intersection before you actually start to turn, and then you can actually start to turn. Now, I'm going to give myself some difficulty here on the first one, and what I'm checking for, I'm turning the wheel, I'm checking my mirrors, and then as I start to straighten out, I'm going to counter steer. So if you can see here, I'm avoiding this curb altogether. And as long as you're doing that, you are good to go. And of course you want to get back into your lane. So we're going to get into the left lane over here, make a left turn, come out of here, same thing. Left turns are a lot easier than right turns because you don't have to watch out for this curb. And now we have an actual right turn that's our only option. So there's no difference here. You're going to go straight to the center of the intersection, right? Go straight, turn late. Once you go to the center, you're going to make a right turn. You're checking your mirrors, making sure that that's good, and we're not touching any curb, and we're getting close to the edge of our vehicle, back into our lane. All right, so now we got a few stop signs coming in. Stop sign, same exact thing. Come to a full stop. Make sure you put your turn signal about 100 feet before the actual turn itself. One more time, we're going to come to a full stop. We're not getting ourselves so close to this side where now it's going to make it difficult for us to turn. And all we're going to do is super simple stuff. We're going to go straight one more time, get to the center of the intersection, and then we're going to start turning hand over hand. And at that point, we're checking where we're going, we're checking the mirrors itself, and we're going to counter steer. And that's how you do a right turn. Now, it sounds pretty simple, much more difficult. Where people actually wind up messing up a lot of the times is not going straight into the intersection and not going to the center of that intersection. So the main two mess ups is going to be how you set yourself up and during the turn process itself, right? So this is what it can look like if you mess things up. So over here, we're gonna make this turn. I started off real close to here. Most people are gonna start turning this way, and then they don't even look at their mirror, and you can see I just ran over the curb, and that is not a good thing to do, right? So we're gonna go back to the city area of this. We're gonna get away from all these houses, and we're gonna keep going, and hopefully we get things going. So avoid curbs at all costs, because one curb, like I said, you're going to be done. We're going to wait for this red light. We are in training here, of course. Then we're going to go straight past this light and make this right turn. If you saw that bus right in front of us, that bus actually did not turn correctly. And that bus ran over the curb, and that was not a good thing for that bus to do, right? And the one thing that most people don't understand is going to be like, well, if I run over the curb, I'm going to know, right? What actually winds up happening is because you're only connected with a kingpin on the trailer itself, and this is something that's going to happen 50 feet away from you, you have no idea what actually happened with the trailer. And that's the craziest thing, where that means you could be driving this vehicle, not paying attention to what's going on around you, and then things can actually get pretty difficult. So this is a nice tight turn here. Over here, I kind of get myself too close to the right side, but I can still fix it by extending how far straight I go and making this turn right over there. So boom. So even if you do set yourself up incorrectly, you can still fix it by making the proper turn. We're going to watch out over here. We're going to make this left turn, and then we're going to make the next right turn. Now, one thing to avoid when it comes to the actual turning piece is what's called a button hook. Now, you don't want to get into this other person's lane, so we're staying in this lane. Once you actually go through the lane, right, once you're actually inside the lane, this is a super tight turn. So it's okay to have my turn signal on and then kind of extend out a little bit, especially when you're going into the city, and then you're going to want to start making your turn just like that. Now, let's see. Boom, I definitely did not extend out far enough, and that is exactly what happened. I ran over the curb. So we're going to try it one more time on a tight one. We're going to do it the proper way. So we're planning ahead, we're approaching, we're staying outside. From here, we're then going to go straight. This is a perfect example of what happens when cars are there. We're going to extend, and then we're going to make this nice and tight turn. So we want to avoid all these cars coming in, and let's see. We avoided the car, but we did not avoid the curb. So in this case, it was inevitable, and it's a tight one. Sometimes you will have to get through that, but when you're taking the actual CDL road test, they won't be taking you through any situations like that. So one more time, we're going to go nice and wide, watching all these cars coming on over, waiting for our time to go. This is a wider road, so it should be easier to do. And boom, that's how you can mess up very, very easily when you don't control anything. So, main thing to worry about is going to be make sure you set yourself up appropriately, make sure you get to the center of the intersection. These cars are just going around in circles, and make sure you're making the turn properly, just like this last one right over here. And it's okay to take as much space as you want, as long as you're not running over any curbs and you are not hitting any cars. And that's pretty much what you have to worry about when it comes to right turns. The simulator is not easy to do, and the road is also not easy to do, but imagine learning on something like this that reduces the stress level so you don't have to worry about all the different moving parts. And that's what we help our students do every single day, right? So we help people like you every single day get themselves on the road to freedom by helping them get a CDL license. And one of the parts of getting your CDL license is actually getting yourself perfected at making right turns. So if you want to go to the best CDL school in the country, definitely make sure you subscribe to the channel and check out our website, cdldrivingacademy.com. Again, cdldrivingacademy.com. Thanks. Have a great day. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. If you want to get your CDL license, you know where to go. Check out our website, cdldrivingacademy.com, right over there. And if you like this video, you'll definitely like this video right over here. So make sure you check that out. But before anything else, make sure you subscribe. And I'll see you soon.